Good evening, guys. So in last lecture, we configured the ISE authentication and authorization using the local users on ISE itself, right? But in some cases, we also have users on external servers. Like if we talk about Cisco ISE, right? So Cisco ISE is maybe integrated with external devices in network. Like there can be LDAP server or there can be AD server. So normally if we are talking about AD server, so this is Active Directory server of Windows, right? It can be Windows 2012, 16, 19 or the two, 2022 also, which is the latest one. So the method remains same, how we are going to be integrated, right? So first of all, I will show you how we are going to be install this AD server first, the initial configuration, because we need to make here some configuration on this AD. Give me a minute. Okay. Guys, so here is the Windows Server. So right now we are using here Windows Server 2019. Okay, it's 16 or 19. I need to check about it. Okay, I think this is 16. So first of all, what we need to do? So we are going to be use two roles on this server. First of all, we need to install the DNS feature, right? DNS means whenever they are going to be integrate. So the ISE is always going to be integrate with its domain name. So like its domain name is ice.cisco.com. So that domain name we need to configure on this DNS server, right? So the first thing we need to enable DNS feature here. Okay. And secondly, we need to configure here Active Directory. So that Active Directory actually contain the information of the users. So that Active Directory have information of users and user groups. Okay, so these are the two main purpose here. So I will start from the initial to configure the Active Directory server and the DNS server. AD server, right? So AD server is already connected. So I have given a certain, like I given two CPU and 4 GB RAM to this server because at least this limited configuration is required on the Windows. So here we have, okay, and just, okay, let me click the get update. Actually, the image is same. So let me focus so you can see. Okay. So first of all, I will enable one remote feature on this. So we can take remote access directly. So the screen will be a little big, right? So that will be more comfortable for us to see. So what we need to do, we need to give the IP address first. So I'm going to be configure a static IP on it. Adapter settings and properties. So static IP is required on your DNS server. So make sure about that. 168 dot 216 dot. So we have here 102 IP. 192.168.216.1. Okay, this is the gateway, and I'm going to be configure 127.0.0.1. So like this is local, so DNS will remain local, right? The same device, so that's why I keep 127.0.0.1 because this is the local device IP address. and okay, and the next is we need to move here and enable the login credentials. Okay, so right click and properties and remote settings. Okay, we need to allow the remote access. Wait a minute. Allow the remote connection. Select user. So admin user is already added. So we need to maybe add the admin. Recheck it. Okay, see, this is the admin group. So this group must be allowed. Otherwise, you will not get the access. Okay. So now we have added and okay. And the next thing, if we enable here, I need to configure the password. Password is not configured, but maybe you will use other directory or server that have already password. So what we need to do, move to the control panel and configure the password here, user and account. Mm, user and account. Okay, create the username type, another. So we have this one, create a password here, right? So what I'm going to be configure, password remains same. So I'm going to be configure this password, which is capital C Cisco at the rate 123. So we can remember it, right? Windows cannot change. Windows cannot change the password. Why? Okay, just let me configure it like this so we can remember. Windows. Okay, leave it. Maybe I need to. Okay, what we can try. Just give me a minute. Let me log out from here. It's not even giving the option to log out. Okay, sign out. Okay, maybe I will configure directly from here Windows. So I don't have another option. So just let me configure. So what we have to be do? We have to be go to the server and manager, right? So here you can see server and the manager, or you can search here directly from the PC itself. Let me close it. So if you have like this, so click here and here you have server manager option, right? So under server manager option, what we need to do, we need to add the role. So you can directly click here to add the roles, or in manage also you have option to add role and the features. So which role and features we are going to be add here, guys? So we need to add here two roles and features. Okay, so just click on the next. So here are the options. So first I need to add the DNS. So click on the DNS and add this feature. Secondly, the second option, which is the Active Directory, right? Active Directory domain service. So these two features we need. So check these two features and make next, next. Okay, and restart the device automatically, because whenever it's going to install the services, so you will get a restart option, or you can make it automatically, and after that install these features. So it will take hardly like 3 to 4 minutes to install all the features, right? So during the installation of the features, it will ask a domain name. So this domain name must be same which we configured already on ISE. If you check, ISE have one domain name. Until that we can see on ISE. So if we do show run, wait a minute, what's wrong? Come on. Okay. So if you do show run, right? So there are two things now. First of all, your domain name must be same. So I have domain name here cisco.com. So in that case, we need to register this ISE device on a DNS server. So the device name will be is1.cisco.com, right? So make sure the domain name be this. And after that, what is the IP of your DNS server? So 192.168.216.102. So this 102 IP address we configured on the DNS server, right? And the next thing is NTP server time must match, guys. Okay. So on both component, this time must match. So what we need to do, we need to configure the same time. Okay. We can configure or we can get it through the NTP. So that is the point. So here, if I'm going to be configured through NTP, I think it will take some time. So the best thing is I can use clock set option. And wait a minute, let me check the timer. Show clock. So this is 12:12 UTC December 4 and 2025. So we need to set here time, or I will change this time on the machine. So that is the only one option. Why I don't want to change here through NTP right now. The point is it will restart the ICE and it will take around half an hour to give the GUI again, right? So it will just waste our time. So the same time we will configure on the Windows. Okay. So they are using UTC. Okay. So let me check on Windows. So the features are about to finish. We can see succeed. Okay, and we can close it. Okay, before that you can see you are getting here one option to prompt it, right? Or the same you will get here under the flag. If you click here, prompt this server as a domain controller, right? So you can do it from here or you can do it from here. So when you are going to be make it, so you need to add a new forest. New forest means they are talking about here domain name, which is cisco.com for us. Next. Okay, after that this password is required. So just for one time you can configure the password here. Cisco at the rate 123. Cisco at the rate 123. Okay, just make next. So these are the basics features you can enable. You no need to know much about the device because this is not our task, right? So Windows engineer will do all these things. Next. Next. Okay, so let it verify some prerequisites, then we can install it. Okay, so now install it. Okay, so now we can sign out and close it, and here also close it. So now it will ask to restart. Just a minute. Okay, so now the device is restarting. Okay. Okay, just wait for a few seconds. So device will come, okay, and then we will start the integration. So now the machine is up. So the first of all, okay, this is asking about the password, which we don't have right now. So maybe this time we have option to configure the password here. Okay, let me try this time to configure the password. Okay, to change the password, press Control or Delete. So I need to change it from here. Change the password. So there is no password. And new password is capital C Cisco at the rate 123. Okay, so select this one. So the password is changed. Now we can take the remote of it. So what you need to do, use mstsc and here enter the IP address. IP address is 102. Okay, so add the username. Username is admin. Password is, this is the password, right? So here you are getting the remote of the PC. Username password is incorrect. So actually here you need to type the domain name, right? So the domain name is cisco.com and type the password again. Okay, so now we have here access. So now let me show you the DNS thing and the user group and all. So you need to check under the tools. So you have here, one is Active Directory user and the computers, but before that here is about DNS, right? So you can see the DNS. So now we have here one domain name. Click on the server. So click here. So we have here one domain under forward lookup zones, right? So we have domain is cisco.com. So cisco.com first of all create entry for itself, the server is 2016, and this is the IP of the server, right? So we also create the lookup, reverse lookup, like one is from name to IP translation and second is IP to name translation, right? So sometimes we need a reverse lookup zone as well, but right now we don't have any zone. So what you need to do, right click here, create a new zone, and next. Okay, make the primary zone, just next, 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 and now here give the ID. So ID is according to the network interface IP. So we have this network ID, 216, right? 192.168.216 is the subnet. So this will be the reverse lookup of it, right? Okay, and next, next, and finish. So here, first of all, we can create for this one. So whenever we are going to be create any device entry, like we need to create entry for the ISE. So just you need to right click on it and properties. So here is one option, update associated pointer record. So that is the reverse entry it will be create. So my server name is server 2016 and domain is cisco.com. So this is the IP. So this is my full qualified domain name, right? If I apply it and OK it, so same entry will be available in reverse lookup zone now. So just check here. So here we have entry now this time, right? The reverse entry, IP to name. Okay. So similar, I can create entry for my ISE. So just you have to right click here under that, okay, under cisco.com, under forward lookup zones, cisco.com, and here create the entry, add a host, and give the name. So name is here ISE1, right? So now here is is1.cisco.com and IP address is 192.168.216. That is 101. Okay, and click here to create the reverse entry under the reverse lookup zone. Just add it, okay, and done. And now entry is here for ISE1 and here is the IP and we can see the same entry we have here. Just refresh it. Okay, now we have here entry, right? So if you want to look up those things, just check under the command prompt. Wait a minute, this command prompt is, no, this is not mine, this is server. So just check CMD. Okay, this is the server. Make sure this is the server prompt. Okay, and here you need to do ns lookup and wait a minute. Now under that you can type for is1.cisco.com. So see, it's going to be resolve the information is1.com. This is the IP address, right? If you try to look up for server itself, even you can check that, right? So if you look up for reverse entry, like exit ns lookup 192.168.216.101. So here it will give the information. So this is actually for v6. We are not using IPv6. Okay, so this is working currently. Okay, so that means this is working and we have added the information of the IS properly. So the second thing, you need to create the user and the groups. So right now we are not creating any user and the group, or we can create here if you want. So what you need to do, under the tools, move to the active directory user and the computers. So here we have multiple groups under the domain cisco.com, like built-in computer, domain controller, foreign security principal, manage, and the users. So you can create your own entry. Create here on cisco.com, right click and move to the new, and here we have one organizational unit. So here we can create for our class like CCNP, CCNP batch. Okay, and now we have here one group. So under that we can create, okay, under that we can create the groups. Those groups we can use on ICE. Okay, and we can create the users here. So what we need to do, under this CCNP, we need to move to the new, and here we have group option. So this group, Okay, group option is like I'm creating the multiple groups. So the first group can be like MGMT, right? So this is my first group, and second group can be IT department. Okay, so I have these two groups, and under that even I can create my users. So users are here, right? This is the user. So user is like I'm creating here MGMT1 and MGMT1, right? Next, uncheck this, check these two options, and here is the password. So password is also case sensitive. So I'm putting capital C Cisco at the rate 123. Next, and finish. But this user is still not part of any group. So what you need to do, right click and add to the group. And here we need to enter the group. Group is MGMT, check. So this is now group name, and here it's successfully added, right? So similar, I'm going to be create now one more user. So user is suppose IT1. IT1 is my username. Okay. Next, similar, I'm going to be use the password here. Capital C Cisco at the rate 123. Capital C Cisco at the rate 123. And next, next. And now we have to be add this user also part of a group. So add to a group, and group name is IT. So check. So here is the group. Okay, and added. So we have added these two users in the same group, management and IT. So I'm going to be fetch this group on ISE. So ISE will integrate with these users. Okay. So we have done with the configuration on server end. We have created a domain, we have created the user and the groups. So the steps are very easy. You have to be just continue with the steps. Okay. So we have done the configuration on this server side, right? So now I need to integrate both of them. But what is the main thing here? The time must be same. The zone can be different, but the time as per their zone must be same, right? So if I check on ICE, ICE have some different timing. So this is currently 12:35 December 4 UTC 2025, right? And on Windows is here, and even I can check. Okay, just a minute. Let me check the date and time. So here is 7 a.m. Friday, and that is UTC Pacific. Okay, so I want to change the time. Okay, some settings are managed by your organization. So maybe here I don't have direct option because of the remote access. So let me try to configure through the to here at the rate 123. Okay, so we lost the remote because I log in the locally. And if I want to change the time, hmm, date time we can't change. Why? Adjust date time in the region settings. Okay. So on ICE, what is the time? This is 12:37, right? It's 4, 12, 38. It's PM, right? Okay. Just wait for a few seconds. So the best thing is during the initial configuration, integrate the devices with NTP. That is the best thing. Okay. Just save it now. Okay, but is it 12 a.m. or p.m.? It's p.m. Okay, okay, maybe. So we change the timer here, right? So now what is the next point? We need to integrate it. So how do you integrate it? So the option is very easy. Move to the ICE and here you have option under the workstation. Okay. Under that you have option here external ID sources, right? Because we configured the ID locally and the group. So now we have option here. And in this option we have Active Directory option, right? So we need to add here. So what it's going to be add joint point name. So we need to add the point name like what we want to add, like this is my AD server. Okay, and here is the domain name, Active Directory domain. So the domain is cisco.com, right? Okay, and just submit. So it will create here automatically. See, okay, just a minute, let me change it. See, I configured just a domain cisco.com. So automatically it start using the is1.com, right? is1.cisco.com. So this entry, this host entry must be exist on your DNS server, which I already created with this IP address, if you remember. So ICE is going to be resolve this IP, and ICE is going to be resolve IP with the domain server. So your domain server must configure during the initial configuration. So if you see the domain server is here, this is the domain server. So I configured the DNS server with same IP. So whenever IS is requesting for is1.cisco.1, sorry, is1.cisco.com, so it will go to this server directly, right? And this server must configure with the same host entry in the DNS. Okay, so then it will resolve it. If you try to ping, so this must able to ping from here is1.cisco.com. Wait a minute, see, here it's getting the resolution, okay, and it's able to ping its own IP address. So that means if I'm trying to ping is1.cisco.com, so that means ICE is trying to reach the DNS server. The DNS is your AD server here, which we configured, okay, and that have entry for this host. So entry must required, okay, and now we need to join it. So just click here and join it, and here you need to add the username and password of Active Directory server. So Active Directory have like administrator, and the password is cisco@123, and just okay. If everything is good, it will ask, otherwise okay, invalid username and the password. So maybe the username is not administrator, it's admin only. So what I need to try, I need to join it again, admin, and the password is capital C Cisco@123. What's wrong with this time? Okay, see, there is clock skew problem. The clock is different, I guess. As I thought, we have problem with the clock. The reason is maybe I'm using here different time. Just a minute. I'm confused with AM and PM actually. That is not even visible. So where we can see online account settings, server info. Okay, so this is actually 12 p.m. December 4. Okay, this is the timing. UTC 12:42 p.m. This is only UTC. Okay, let me try one thing. I will make R3 as NTP server. Okay. Host name is R3, interface, IP address 192.168.216.100. So this is our clock set. So what is the time here? Okay, let's change the time zone first. Clock, time zone, IST 5:30, clock set, and the date is 05 December 2025, right? Show clock. So clock is changed, and now NTP master 1. Okay, and show clock. And even we have to be synchronized on this PC as well. So first of all, let me change the zone. I am changing as per Indian time. Okay. Okay. So the time is, it's 21. Okay, it's not 21 actually. This is 9 only. After that, 01 PM. Okay. And now we need to integrate the timer on ICE as well. So how we can do that? On CLI NTP server 192.168.216.101, not 100, right? Show NTP. So just wait for a minute because it will take some time to integrate with it. Because NTP is UDP based protocol, so it takes some time. So if you want to see, here is the command. I set as IST and this is the time, right? 5:30. And you see show clock, here is the timer. It's like plus 530. Yeah, that's why I did. Wait a minute. Here that command will not work, I guess. Association is for outer. Yeah, 20p association. Oh, this is R3. R3 is actually server. Okay, so this time we have only this NPP, so hopefully 'let me retry to join it. Hopefully maybe it will work. I don't think so. 12:55. The only one option I can change the timer. Come on. Wait a minute. According to you, so let me check again. If we have 9:10 here, so there should be 3:41, right? PM clock set. Three letters, month of year. December, day, year, day value of, okay. Hours, right now it's 3, 6:30, or okay, it's 3, so it should be 15, right? 32. And then year is 25. Yes. No, I don't want to change it. Okay, so we have changed here. So it's 342 and here is this, right? 342. My bad. Let me rechange it. Okay, so we have now same timer almost. So if I'm going to be check on the GUI, so this must be changed. So we can try now. That there was time gap actually. If it's in UTC, so there must be a. So right now we have changed, right? If in it's UTC, December 5. And now we can again try to integrate it. External resources, AD server, join it, password, okay. See, so this is now what working. So the only one option if your NTP is not working. So make sure if you have same time zone, okay, on both. So configure the same timing. If different time zone, then make sure there should be a time difference, the accurate time difference between them. In that case, the device will be here integrate, okay. So now we can see the device is an operational and this is our domain controller, right? So now if you want to check like which groups you have, so here is the groups option and you can add the groups. Like we are trying to retrieve all the groups from AD server to ISE, okay? So you can check retrieve option. So it will give you all the groups, like which groups you need you can use. So here we need actually the domain admin group one, okay? You can choose this one and after that, okay, here it is. What next we need? Okay, let me scroll it above. Okay, we have here also build users actually. It should be here. Okay, build users. And after that in CCNP batch, see we have CCNP batch here and here IT and management, these two groups we need, okay. And one is domain admin, okay, under the users. So only these are required. So just now let make it okay. So these are the groups which we need. And then we have also one or more option here. Just scroll it to save this configuration. So that means now I have all these groups from the AD server, okay. So that how you get the groups. So after that we can configure the device and do the same authentication, okay. So right now we have also our internal group and the password, like these are ABC1 and ABC2. As per our group, we have here two groups. If you see admin and the help desk, which we created in the last session, right? And now we have external resource here. Click on AD. So this is our resource, right? If you check, we have even groups which we retrieved. These are the groups. You can create more groups. Let me show you. If I'm here, tools, Active Directory users. Okay, just click here and where it's here. So if you want to create more groups, here is the, okay, this is the container, right click it, new, and option is here group. So this time suppose we want IoT group, okay. So IoT group is here, right? And maybe you want to create some user for them, okay. Under IoT I will create IoT1. It can be anything, just for my sequence I'm using this, okay, so I can remember. And the password I will configure same, Cisco @123, capital C Cisco @123. And don't forget to add the user in the group, otherwise it will not work. Add, search here, IoT, check, this is the group, okay, okay, user is part of it. So now you can add this group also. And what we are doing here, okay, we need to add here, select group from directory, retrieve, or you can ask for the name or filter the name. So I'm going to be filter the name here. Name is with IoT. Wait a minute. Oh, I can filter. Okay, see, I have to filter and then retrieve it. So this is the group, and even I'm going to be added. Okay, and don't forget to save it. Save it. So now we have more groups here, guys. Wait a minute. This is saved. Okay. What's wrong with it? Okay, see, by mistake, IoT, IT, and management. So we have now groups and the user. So now what we did only two tasks here till now. So the first task is, guys, we configured the DNS server, okay, with the domain which is cisco.com, right? Cisco.com. Second is we configure here Active Directory. Under Active Directory, we created the group. Group is IT, group is management, and the group is IoT, right? These three groups, and we have users inside the group. Okay. And the third step we did here, the integration. And under the integration, guys, we have added the ISE with AD server. Okay. But we faced here one problem, and what was that? The time problem, right? So there was a time sync issue. So to resolve the time sync issue, the first option is here, make sure during the initial configuration of ISE, configure a NTP, dedicated NTP server, okay? And the second is manually need to set same time, manually set the time zone. First is time zone and second is clock. So those must be same, guys, okay? If you set the manually. So right now, if I'm using here is my time zone is IST, okay, and the timer is right now 21:20 something, that is PM, and here I'm using UTC. So according to UTC, there is 15 45 or something like this, right? So this is like half an hour difference. Five. This is the time difference between both clocks, right? So accordingly, you have to be set, and here also December 5, and here also December 5. Okay. So after that, we have successfully did this task. And now what is the main task that we are trying to achieve here? So the main task is, after that, I'm going to be authenticate and authorize this router. Authenticate and authorize. So we need to again configure the device because I wiped out this router and we need to reconfigure it. And but this device is already added on the ISE. So that times, first of all, let configure the router and then we will configure the policy here. Okay, because we have here only policy for internal users right now, for internal users. For external user, I will create a separate policy. Okay, quickly. So the configuration remains same on router, and so we have already here IP address, right? So first of all, I'm going to be enable AAA. So let me do one thing here. I need to configure a local username and the password. Okay, and enable AAA authentication login. So that login is for my console, that is local. Okay, and triple authentication login. So that login I'm using for the ICE. So group is TechX. AAA authorization, and authorization for exact, and name is ICE, group is TechX, right? And the last thing, I need to configure here TechX server. TechX server must use the key must be Cisco, and address is IPv4 192.168.216.101, right? And now we move under the line console. So under line console, we need to enable here login, authentication, and that is this remote A. Okay, remote means local. It will get through local. And the next two line VTY, and here login, authentication, and here we are using group is ISE, right? And authorization also using the group ISE, sorry, exact mode, and group is ISE. Okay, so we configured authentication and authorization. Still I have not configured for command line. So if you want to configure for command line also, so these are the commands. If you remember, AAA authorization. For commands, I need to define my group and a group name. First of all, let me configure for privilege level 0, level 0, group TechX. Okay, so similar we need to configure for group 1. Next for group 15, and here also group 15. And now under the line VTY, authentication for command, label is 0, and this is the name, level 1. Okay, level 15. Okay, so we configured here. So now we can, okay, one more command I forget to configure, AAA authorization config command. So for global configuration commands, right? So we are done with the configuration here. Now we need to create the policy. So we have here a policy for internal users, right? If you see, the device is here integrated successfully. So what we need to do, under the policy element, we have already the privilege levels. So we have command set for admin or helpdesk, and even in profiles we have for admin and helpdesk. So we can use the same profile for privilege level. Okay, or you can create extra or other profiles for the external user if you want. And the final is about the policy. So we have here policy. So if we are using the default policy, so in which we have first rule is authentication rule. So under authentication rule, make sure it's going to be use all user ID store. So all user ID store contain for internal and external both users. Okay, how we can see? Just a minute. Here we have options. Wait a minute. Mhm. Wait a minute. Okay, this is the same. Just a minute. Advanced setting. Group. Okay, it should be under the administrator and system admin settings. I need to check. We have option somewhere where we can add the devices actually, like in all user admin, like where we have option to add the devices. Okay. Okay, here it is in identity and sequence. So we have here all user ID store. Okay, so under the administrator, identity management. So we have like identity group and external identity, and then we have identity sequence. So under all user ID store that we are currently using, so if you click here, so you are getting like this is the sequence. So we have not added yet the AD server, right? Wait a minute, authentication list we have available internal endpoints and server and internal users. So AD is still not part of it, so we need to add the AD also here. Okay, so we can make here AD above or below like this. Okay, so that how we can select it and save it, so they will start using it, right? So AD is also part of it. Okay, because we added the AD, so we need to select that also, otherwise it will not authenticate. So we have internal user, all AD join points, and then we have AD also, and that is the all user ID store. So all user ID store is currently for authentication. So in authentication, it will check the internal user, then all AD join points, then AD server. Okay, so we have saved it already, and now we can move. Okay, so the first parameter is confirmed. We have here authentication for all user ID store, so that also going to be include the AD. But if we talk about authorization, guys, so authorization have two rules and the admin set here, right? That is for admin group, those are local, and that is for helpdesk group, that is local. So I can create one more rule below that, that is for my external users, right? That is for AD external group, right? And now we can make here condition here also. You can add the AD server, like AD server which have external group, so these are the external group now. So you have to be create maybe multiple in that case. So first of all I will match the IoT, and then I will match or means we want more group with it, right? And here we are going to be check AD server again, external group is like IIT, and here also add the OR group, and we want to select one more, just a minute, and here we have AD equal to management, right? And use it. Okay, this is for admin actually. Wait a minute, let me zoom out. I need to change, I added one extra with it, so just a minute. Okay, and remove it. Okay, so like those are in equal, and here is OR gate. OR gate means any one of them. Okay, it can be IoT management or IT, and now use it. So see, here we have these are the policy, and I can set here like admin command set for full access, and here is the privilege of admin profile, or you can create your own as well. So let's understand this policy what we did here. So in we created here one group, right? And under that what I did, in this group I configure OR gate. OR gate means it can be this, it can be this or this, and under that we have one group here that is IoT management and IT. So I configure three conditions. So if anyone is matching with this, that can be belong to IoT management or IT, they are getting the privilege level 15 commands, and this is the privilege level 15. So that is the authorization, right? And those are the internal users. I created role above for them, so they are going to be matched first, and they will match here, and the other users are going to be matched in this. Those are part of specific groups from external server. And now let's save it. So we have saved. Now let me try to access the device. Okay. So click here, R3. What's problem with it? Maybe the ISE is misbehaving again. Let's check the live packets. If we are not getting any data, restart it. Okay, the connection. Okay, the connection is refused on R3. I forget to enable under the line VTY. That is the problem actually. Okay, so let me restart it. So now we are getting the username. So if I'm trying with ABC1, that is under admin, right? The internal user. So now I'm getting here access. If you remember, we have one command that is restricted. So that means even the command authorization is working and the internal user is able to access, right? So if we see the live logs again, so the live logs will show, okay, the user is belong to the default, okay, and authorization also here. Let me check the authorization. So see, the authorization is passed and it's checking the admin authorization rule and admin profile, okay, and here username is this, okay. So we are successfully getting here privilege 15 and it's going to be matched with which policy. Just let's check that and see the selected is internal user, right? And what is the name of policy? Admin authorization rule. So that is the name of policy under the default, right? Okay, but similar if we are trying with the other user, duplicate session. So here I'm trying with mgmt1 Cisco @123. We are getting access. So privilege. So it's also getting the privilege 15 because I have given the admin profile and admin class, and even we are getting here failed for this, right? So now if you check, management is eligible to access, but see the management is okay. Let me click here. So we can see, so authentication is pass, okay, and it's using default authentication, no problem. And if you click here, okay, the receiving TACAX authentication start with AD server. See the authentication starting with AD, and this is the policy group manage policy for management. And if we check, we have here selected identity resources AD server. So they are checking the AD server, right? Okay. So that means the device is part of that, and we can see here authorization match with this AD external group. So this is our authorization role which we created on AD. So that how we can use multiple devices, guys. Okay. See the group is here. This is the policy group which we created in the sequence. So that how we can check and we can use. So I hope this is clear to everyone. If you try again with the other device, let me recreate, make a duplicate session. So this time I'm using IT1, okay, and the password is Cisco @123 show privilege configuration terminal. The commands are working, and if you see the IT is here, and if I click on the command, so authorization is passed, and this is using command authorization succeed, okay, and the device is from authorization policy, and the show privilege command we tried, okay, and that command is succeed. And see the user is IoT, that is the external user, guys. Okay, so that how you can try with your external device. So this is the command set we are getting. Okay, so we are getting the AD server, and here is the domain name. Okay, this is the full qualified domain name. So is there any doubt regarding it?